Hey, Natalie. Thanks for joining me for another conversion teardown. Today, we're going to take a look at modern fuel. How much do you know about modern fuel?
Nothing. First time here.
Awesome. Well, even better because we'll get a new to file customer's perspective on this. So, what's your first impression then?
My first impression is I know what they sell pens and pencils, sets and accessories. Love a navigation that tells me what people offer. So, good first impression. Also,
That's
noticing that they're probably some sort of engineered pen with the aerospace precision and heirloom quality. I kind of know what they want me to believe the quality of their pens are.
that's great. Yeah, good point. My understanding of modern fuel, from what I know, is that they sell a very expensive pen. And so
Okay, good to
what
know.
they're always trying to do is convince folks, not even convince, they're catering towards a certain customer. And you can see it's kind of got that high end Apple design to
I'm
it,
getting
right? That
high,
clean
strong
mark.
Apple vibes for sure,
Yes,
especially with
yes.
that the water reflection below the pens, black background
Mm-hmm.
feels very Apple inspired, which is great.
Yeah,
A lot of people use them for inspiration. We like their site as an example of a very product focused, simple website, and I think a lot of folks aspire to that. So I can see them taking some hints from that.
great. Okay, so what's your thought on the headlines? You said the navigation's great. I agree with that. Like you said, it's good to know right away. Modern Fuel doesn't really tell me what they sell. I wouldn't have a good understanding of that in the name, but as soon as you see pen, pencil sets, and accessories, I'm in. I know what
For
I'm
sure.
looking at.
Yeah, I think it's simple and straightforward. It gives me the impression that maybe they don't offer like a wide variety of products, which I think is fine, especially with that sub had the best pen on earth. Seems like they're
Mhm.
pretty focused here, but that gives me the impression that they really care about their pens and
That's
pencils.
great. Okay, so then shop the pen, the pencil. So not a whole lot of options here. What about the copy? Any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, I love like a 3-up layout like this that says a few benefits quality, 100-year guarantee, and aerospace precision. So the first and the last kind of seem like they're saying something pretty similar. With a 100-year guarantee, I mean, this gives me the impression that this company's. I have an impression that they're new, especially when they're touting their origin story so strongly here on the bottom. Like, who knows what brand is going to be around for 100 years? It might even be a little more trustworthy to give them like a 10-year guarantee.
Mm.
So it starts to give me some questions at this point. The other thing I love to do in this space is show when we can and tell when we can't. I feel like they're really telling. Is there something that will give me like a quick and easy impression of like what a guarantee is, what the quality is, and what the precision is? Are there three like icons that might help me understand that or something like that? So it's a lot of words for right now.
Interesting. Yeah, I agree with that. The heirloom quality doesn't really tell me a whole lot. That word heirloom is kind of like, well, okay, like it might, be something you want to pass down to your kids. Why don't you just say that? Like it's something you'll want to have in the family for, generations or generational quality, something of
Let me
that
ask you a
sort.
question, John. Do you have any of your grandparents' pens?
No.
Yeah, neither do I. I mean, I'm sure they're great, but
There you go, right?
wasn't something they thought to pass on.
Yeah, exactly. So I kind of get the idea of what they're going for here, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
know that it's hitting the note. I do like that they have some social proof built in. The gray stars I get goes with the theme, but it almost makes it seem like they
No
rated it
reviews.
0 out of 5,
Yeah,
right?
that's really weird. I love a good quote, especially when, so background, my education is in industrial design. That's where my degree comes from. Core 77 is something that a lot of industrial designers who are probably process oriented, who know what a machining of a product is, will be really interested in. One thing that they're kind of losing here is the brand. If people are really into pens, they might recognize the logo or the word mark of the Pen Addict and Core 77. So, whenever you're using quotes from a reputable source, using the logo of that same reputable source so that people can really quickly attach the brand to the quote is really helpful. Icons are there for a reason, they're iconic. So,
Hmm.
this could be a little bit punchier if we use those and use the star ratings filled in. Yeah, give me the impression that they gave you 5 stars, not that they have yet to review you.
Yeah, even just making them white would still be within brand. And what about the footer? I love how they've got the shop. I would always want to see shop on the left, but since they only have a few products and the navigation up top does a really good job and it's sticky, I might be okay with it being in the middle there. But they hit on everything I typically want to see. which is the contact information, including an address and an email, which is wonderful. The shop repeating the main product categories, which they've done, including corporate orders, which is great to put down here because if I'm looking for corporate orders, that's where I'm going to go. And then the learn is a little interesting to me that they call it learn because they've got about, which I'm happy that's not in the main navigation, but then they have returns, terms and conditions, how to, and do not sell my information. Is like learning about not selling my information is a little odd to me, but
yeah, it seems like the kitchen sink. They just threw everything in there that didn't belong anywhere else. I mean, I say the same thing. Let's give them props for having some shopping links down in the footer. A lot of people miss that mark. I love seeing an address and social icons that establishes trust really early. The learn could probably be a little more helpful. So the main folks that are looking in the footer are people that are really lost, don't know where to go, folks looking for a job, so any careers pages would go there, and then folks looking to validate kind of who you are and why they should trust you, so that contact step. The rest of it, not a lot of people see the footer, so not super right for testing, but what I might do is just want to make sure that in this area, if an existing customer has a problem, that they can resolve that here. And that's just the paradox of, making sure that if folks have an issue, that we resolve that really quickly, we'll win them back as a customer more strongly than if we hadn't had an issue at all.
Great. Yeah, definitely makes sense. Shall we dive into one of the product pages? What do you think? The pen, the flagship product?
I don't use pencils, so let's go pen.
Okay. Wow, that's a hard line in the sand there. No pencils, huh?
Yeah, I'm very decisive.
Does something like the Apple Pencil count? Would you do that?
That's really interesting because it does function like a pencil. But yeah, I've used that. That might break my rule.
Yeah, it's not a pencil.
I should have my
or
Baron
a pen.
Fig pen in my hand. They'll probably laugh at my lowly Precise B5, but yeah, love the confidence of a pen. So yeah, looking at this product page, it looks pretty simple above the fold. Tells me their options. They have a little bit of, timely Christmas stuff here that seems almost like it's out of date. So I'm really doubting that this could arrive before Christmas at this point. I'm sure that these folks are all in fulfillment right now, though. Like everybody's probably in the warehouse packaging pens, from the CEO to the delivery driver. So no time to update the website, totally understand. But I'm wondering what this would look like, if it weren't the holidays. Tell me a little bit about the product above the fold. Give me the main points. If I'm really, in a pinch, especially in this shopping time period, what would you want me to know if I have no patience to go any further? Put that above the fold, right? Rather than the shipping.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think it's nice that they put arrives before Christmas, but you have to remove that immediately when it's not the case. And we're filming this on, Thursday, December 17th. And we all know Ship-A-Getting is here and in full effect right now. And I really doubt, again, they'd have to pay for overnight shipping. But maybe if they have a $150 product, they're willing to pay for overnight shipping for everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
I do find this interesting that they have these different models and colors, which is quite nice.
Yeah, and I think the responsive images, gotta give them props there. I love if you only have one product, you better get this product page right. Oh, though, I'm not gonna love that zoom. I would test removing that as soon as possible. It's just kind of weird. I mean, they have some zoomed up shots, like as the second image in the film strip. It's a little distracting, and I did not expect that to happen.
Whoa, you can double zoom too.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I do like this breakdown. I almost wish this was the second image because this tells me way more about what I'm getting. A pen is a pen, right? But here they've done a great job of kind of breaking it down into the different areas and telling me exactly what I'm getting and why it's important. You don't think about this when I'm buying a $5, plastic pen.
Yeah,
Right?
I almost wonder if this image would be better served as something like just scrollable on the page, like a static image rather than living in a thumbnail. Baron Fig does a lot of these on their product pages where they expand the product image and make it almost more of a landing page style. And that's a really great trick for a brand like this who maybe only has a few products but wants the website to still feel really robust. The film strip is more conventional, but in this situation, I might test expanding these and just having it more of that landing page layout, full bleed kind of image style.
Okay. Great. Well, there you are again with your 100-year guarantee.
Yeah, so this would be an example of how not to use that full bleed image, to just say one sentence. There's probably a little bit more content that we could serve up here. And again, show when you can, tell when you can't. Is there something here that we can show them about quality, like the pen dropping on the floor and not getting scuffed or something like that? It's a lot of space for such a small idea.
Yeah, even showing somebody writing in it to see how smooth it writes,
Would
something
love
of
it.
that
Yeah.
sort would be interesting to me. And I wonder if you just say lifetime guarantee or, just they buried
Yeah.
the lead almost. I would almost just put, we'll fix or replace your pen for any reason.
Yeah, I
That's
love
really
the
what
idea of
you
a
want people to
lifetime
know.
guarantee, like your lifetime, right? That
Right.
gives me less question than 100 years, where I'm like, is this
Mhm.
company even going to be around in 100 years? If in my lifetime I need a new pen and I come back to you, that feels a little less, I'm feeling less skeptical about that. All right, so here are the images that I think I was hoping to see on this page. Say what you will about like the usability of an autoplay image, but I think they're really doing a good job showing that, these are made by people who really care. And we don't get to get into the workshops a lot on some of these products, but the fact that this is machined and finished on a lathe is obviously appealing to this audience who cares about precision. Machining is for the highest tolerance. So just saying like this is a high precision pen through this imagery here. This
I
is a
like
great
it.
example of showing when you can show.
Yeah, they did a great job there. I also like the metals, maybe I'm not sure which one I want. They all seem to be the same price. So to me, it was kind of a color issue more than anything else. But I think that they make a good point. We're the only pen out there that uses a solid piece of this. I'm assuming that's really high quality bronze. I don't know what C52 100 is, but it probably means, something. I love how they put here luxury watch grade bronze.
Yeah, I
Right.
love
That
that.
definitely makes me
That
feel
actually
good.
gives me questions about what the patina is going to look like on these pens. And a lot of wallet brands will do this thing where if you're buying a natural leather, they'll show you day 1, day 40, day 500, and show you that age over time. And that really brings home that kind of heirloom messaging. So is there something we can show about this pen about how it will patina over time with the oils of regular use? And is that a value rather than something that might surprise me in a negative way? Use that as a selling point where this gets character with how you use it.
Now, again, the breakdown, which we've already kind of seen up above, but it's good
Sure.
they call it out again.
Yeah, it's pretty low on the page.
This list of FAQs, though,
Ooh.
this kills me every time. Really, I always say FAQs are where good content goes to die.
Yeah.
And the reason is that if people are truly asking these questions frequently, just give them
Yeah.
the information up front.
I have the same feeling about FAQs as I have about bolded text. Like if you have to make it bold, if you have to put it in a frequently asked question, you should have probably just said it better, more succinctly earlier on in the experience. FAQs, we have to laugh because are they actually that frequently asked? And if they are, why are we telling them in the footer of the page basically? Another thing I'm wondering is if they even have reviews, because we saw like all those great reviews earlier on and we're so low on the product page and I don't see them. I would love to test having these below the product reviews if that's what's coming next.
Great point. Yeah, and I think it's interesting. Like they hadn't talked about dimensions of the pen or the weight of the pen, and those are things. If I'm spending $150, I probably
Right.
want to know how does
Yeah.
that feel in my hand.
Like could that live
right?
in like a specifications tab just as easily, right? For people who really want to know about the measurements, don't make them click into 5 different arrows. Have it on one spot.
Yeah. Okay. And then reviews. They've got almost all
Yay.
5-star, 1 4-star. That makes me wonder if they've curated these reviews at all.
Yeah, it's a little more trustworthy when we see at least 1 or 2 kind of lower reviews. But how I think they could take this farther is a lot of the reviews tools, Yotpo in particular, they give you the option to ask like a 1 or 2 questions of the folks leaving a reviews. Might it be helpful to understand like how folks are using these pens? So, what's your role or what's your main use? Like, give me something that makes me trust your reviewers even a little bit more and understand if this pen works for my context. And that's kind of towing the line between, you might exclude some people who say, oh, well, I'm a doctor and I don't want to use the same pen or have the same needs as somebody who's an engineer. But that helps you really bring in the people that are right for you and leaves everybody else understanding that this isn't for them, brings in the right customers.
The one thing that I really don't like is this write a review button,
I know you
mainly
hate those
because
buttons.
anyone
not
can come in.
verified.
Like I could come right now and leave a review. And
Yeah.
it decreases
it.
the trust dramatically
I'll be
on the
deleting
rest of the
reviews
reviews.
from John McDonald on my website in no time.
Okay,
All
so we're
right.
back at the footer, which
Yeah.
is where we're at. Overall, I like the site. I think that it's
Clean.
definitely has some positives. I think the team at 4x400 that owns this company has done a really good job with it, but I do think there's some opportunities here. And when you're selling a $150 pen, you almost have to have it like perfect, right? And to be able to convert at a high level. So yeah, hopefully their holiday season went well. Thank you, Natalie,
Good luck,
for
everybody. Thanks, John.
yes.
It's a fun one.
We'll do another one soon.
All right. Ciao, ciao.